Here are the recommended tools you will need to wrap a drum shell with Drum Foundry PSA. You're going to need a whisk broom, some sort of Swiffer broom to knock off all the dust off the shell before you wrap. Here's Drum Foundry wrap trimmer. A pair of scissors just in case you end up a little crooked on the wrap and you need to trim it away from the bearing edge, so you're dealing with a flat surface once you trim the wrap down from the bearing edge. J roller, these come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. 2 sets of spring clamps. This is probably the biggest you're going to want to use. This is a good size. Some sort of utility knife to score the liner of the PSA. Set of tweezers, not necessary, but it is helpful. A pencil and a Drum Foundry T-jig. First example we're going to show you today is Keller shell with edges from Drum Foundry. This is a snare shell, 5.5 by 13, and if you purchase a pre-cut wrap from us with our PSA, this is how it would come in the mail or shipped by FedEx. And we're going to show you how to wrap this. If you do receive a shell from us with bearing edges, you'll see that we usually put our snare bed on the outer veneer seam of the shell. That's a good reference point where you want to start your wrap. However, these outer seams usually are not perfectly straight, so you want to use a Drum Foundry T-jig and a pencil.
Yay, T-jig!
You're going to take your Drum Foundry T-jig and line it up approximately with the outer veneer seam and start about a 1/2 inch below the edge and strike your line and stop about a 1/2 inch from the bottom edge. The reason we do that is once we wrap the shell and then we'll use the Drum Foundry wrap trimmer, then you won't have a pencil line there. So after you strike the line on the shell, you're going to take the wrap and just approximate where halfway is and just score the liner of the PSA. I like to do that lightly and then just do this and it breaks. You can see the white of the wrap underneath. And take your shell. I like to place the top bearing edge towards me. Find the edge without the seam tape. The seam tape usually has a red liner. Line it up with the pencil line that you just stroked. Line it up with the pencil line that you just struck. Spring clamp. 2 spring clamps to be exact. And then do a dry fit of that first half. If you need to make any adjustments, you can loosen the tension on one of the spring clamps and kind of rotate it. And find where you scored the wrap. Right there. Pull it tight. Grab another set of spring clamps, and you're going to clamp it on the far side of where you scored the liner. So the score mark is right here.